Kia ora koutou, and welcome to our long overdue Arnold Classic preview and predictions. I've been waiting a while for this one. I'm trying to organise it. People have been very busy at the moment, but that's cool. We had to do it. We're 5 days out, so we're going to put ourselves on the spot. Up on our Insta, I noticed a few people have already put some predictions up there, some interesting ones. So if you're on the Insta, have a look at that and make your predictions on there. Mike Kingsnorth joining us today. I saw a glimpse of your shirt. You got to show it, seeing as it's you, buddy. My favourite gym shirt, actually.
I know. I should have worn the BSC visor, and then I could have been I could have been a Nate Williams impersonator.
How you been, Mike?
Shirt. I love it. Oh, it's been good. Love the shirt. My wife did ask if I ever take it off, but in fairness, I do. I've worn it a few times, but it's a new shirt has that fabric feels nice and soft, and you like it. So life is good, a little bit busy, so dealing with shipping and worldwide issues, and it's making life a little bit of a challenge, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I thought about sending you a shirt and getting you to sign it next to your signature and then framing it for the gym. So I signed a signature t-shirt.
What you do is you send the smallest one, so that way you don't have to buy a very large frame. It'll save you some money. I was hunting through through some boxes in my garage, and I've got so many autographed jerseys from Chiefs and Warriors and all that sort of stuff from back in the day. It's just crazy. I've got more than I know what to do with. It's just mad. Oh, nice.
It's shorts. I thought for a minute.
Do they fit legs or yours, Nate?
I put them on, man, and they make my legs look so skinny. They are the best shorts in the world to train legs in because I've got Tom's signature on it. He did it at the Olympia, and I always think of his legs, but then I look down at mine and they look absolutely abysmal. So
I remember talking to Tom Terry, I think it might have been Tom, or might have been Peter Hardwick. They had been to the Worlds when Tom was competing in it. They were there as a manager or whatnot. They were walking up the stairs behind him, and they said his legs were just crazy everywhere. And they're like, it was the most insane thing they'd ever seen. So
back in the early 90s, I had an old VHS of the 83 Olympia with obviously Big Bad Bertel Fox. And I think Tom
500 most musculars. Yep.
I think Tom Platz was the guest poser, and it was really poor quality, and it cut out partway through, and it was like the tape was just about fucked because we played it so many times. But it had that bit where he's in his guest pose where it's in slow motion, where he does the thigh wobble, and then just everything just shoots on up and turns into feathering and separation, and it's just nuts.
It's crazy. Yeah, the thought of having a guest poser at a Mr. Olympia. It's the weirdest thing to conceive. I mean, and it's the poser is somebody who's never won it.
It'd be the most overwhelming guest posing job you'd ever get to do, right?
There was a guy a few years ago who did one. I don't know I think it might have been at the Olympia, but he was a disabled athlete, and he had, I think it was the legs, I think might have even been but above the knee amputations, but he was peeled, and the upper body was pro level upper body, and then all the guys come out and posed with him. It was like His handle on Insta's Bionic Body, if anyone's interested. Really cool guy, really neat guy. Yeah, they gave him a medal too, didn't they? An Olympic medal.
I think so. Yeah.
So not bad. Yeah.
No, not bad at all. And an amazing physique that guy's got.
Mike probably had better calves than some of the guys in the classic physique.
It's rough. It's rough. Mike Tab, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just plugging away at school, and about to fly solo for a week with the kids. Delane just headed off to Wellington to deal with the protesters. Get the battens and the riot shields out. And
I want to quote Eddie Murphy from Trading Places. May I recommend you use your nightstick, officer?
I was kind of going, not that impressed that she has to go because they're taking 70 odd cops from here. So it's a good time to commit a crime elsewhere in the country because they're all up there. And I think mainly they're bringing so many police in because Jacinda doesn't want to call in the army for the bad PR. But I thought if you're dealing with protesters, You've got to have a woman there to deal with the woman, so it doesn't look like a dude's bashing the crap out of the woman. And if you're going to have a woman there, you probably want Delaney there. Actor's shit and pretty, pretty rational and pretty reasonable. So, yeah, for the greater good, she's up there doing that. But so I'm flying solo with the kids for a week, unless, of course, she fails a rat test before one of her shifts, in which case she's isolating up there for another 10 days, in which case I'm flying solo with the kids for 3 weeks. So day one, I'm okay. Day one, we've made it through.
Survived so far. Hey, let's rip into the Arnold Classic. I'm just going to share a screen, so bear with. Can do. Hey, for those people that don't know a lot about the Arnold Classic or want to know more, if you check out arnoldsportsfestival.com, that's the website. And if you drop in there, you have a look at the sports and events. Just a huge number, I think 60 plus different sports of all kinds of things. This year, we get to see slap fighting too. So
I have no idea what it is, but pickleball sounds interesting because I like pickle on my burger.
Right. So Arnold Classic, if you click on Arnold Classic, actually for those that are into strength sports, if you click on Strongman, there's a massive lineup there too. The names are phenomenal in there. But the open men's, which we're going to cover off first.
Is it pay-per-view or is it just live stream?
I don't know, because last year it was just a live stream, right?
Okay.
But most of the events in the last year have been pay-per-view, so we have to check it out. I guess check it in shop, have a look.
What's funny is that Dennis James always has really good seats, and just the clarity on his phone always comes across.
Isn't he commentating?
Really good.
Isn't Dennis James in third commentating?
Yeah.
So he really good seats this year.
Oh, that
interesting though. They said that they are commentating off the live stream. So they're not actually watching what's on stage. They're watching the live stream, which could mean, they see what we see, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
No point telling me what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it. I want to hear the other stuff.
Yeah. So competitor list is up. We've got a couple of people that are out from there. So obviously Nathan Deasher came out, torn bicep. Cedric's out. I'm not sure what happened there. And someone else dropped out just recently. Can't remember. Go on. Anyway, so we've got a pretty small lineup. I think there's 9 competitors there. We'll have a look at some of them and make some comment before we come back and take our picks. But there's all events obviously on. So bikini, figure, women's, etc. But we're not going to go into all of them today. We haven't got enough time or the expertise, to be fair. But men's physique, etc. And I just spotted this guy here in the men's physique. And I thought, that's a men's physique back. And I'm like, holy shit, how far has men's physique come when you've got a back like that on stage? So for those that don't know, I think it's Diogo is how you say it, Montenegro. That's in there.
Liked by Sean King as well, I can see.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those pictures of those really muscly dogs, and you look at his spinner erector, that kind of looks like the tail coming out,
like the pit bull.
Yeah, there's really fucked up muscly looking ones.
Yeah, I saw one on today at Pity, and I thought, holy shit. And then I saw that, and it's like that double muscled Belgian blue cattle sort of thing. In the amateurs, I just spotted this guy working with Flex Wheeler, and I'd hate to be standing in the amateur, standing next to that. It's just I'm trying to find a good photo.
I've heard people talking about his 2023 Arnold Pro debut, because if he wins this, he gets an automatic invite to the 2023 Pro show.
So what category is he in?
He's in
bodybuilding.
In the Arnold amateurs.
Yeah, bodybuilding. I assume.
Yeah.
I would assume, but
Yeah, he looks pretty big, man. Like I've seen him standing next to Flex. He's not a short guy or anything by the look of it. Mind you, he's got some classic trunks on there, so we never know.
Does he, or is that in? I think where is it in the Middle East where they make them wear shorts like that for bodybuilding too?
He competed in another federation too, didn't he?
Probably.
But I think he won a show over in a different federation. He's sort of coming over to NPC
Because
IFBB.
he's based out of Dubai, right?
Yeah,
He
I
was
think
Barry
this is the
Wheels
one
training
where he
partner,
was doing
wasn't
bodybuilding, and they had to wear the fullest shorts for modesty or some religious reason.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting that amateurs are looking like that. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. Right, and so Justin Rodriguez, of no particular order, guys, just bringing these guys up. Seeing if we can find, here we go. So some latest photos.
Doesn't he look like John De La Rosa there on the left? Just the physique and shape. Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to look nutty, eh? I mean, his width
This is only 2 days ago. It's not really too crisp for 2 days ago. It says, and I personally have him second to last. I'm a fan of the physique, but you look at that that hands class most muscular. It's kind of boxy, like the triceps. I've looked at a few shots, and particularly the short head of the tricep just isn't. It's not there. There's no definition. It's not popping out, and it's really not framing the physique well.
Yeah, I think you notice that in a couple of his poses. When you see him in the front double, his triceps look phenomenal. When you see him in that front most muscular, or there's another shot that he hits, and he almost looks a little bit flat through the tri. So so I've heard that commentary, but
even his side tri shots. If I remember, I was looking at these today, and there's just no detail to them at all. It's,
just remember, people, if you're watching this, we're criticising some of the best athletes in the world.
This is the Arnold. This is
so bit of context, guys. When we are critiquing, we're nitpicking from the best of the best.
But you have to. This is the Arnold, and this is besides the Olympia, this is the second biggest show of the year, and these guys are the extreme high end of it. It's it's like criticising Formula One race car drivers' turning ability. Lewis Hamilton's reversing. It's like
yeah, I think he looked a lot better in some physique updates maybe a week or so ago. He did look crisper and sharper.
Okay.
Does anyone know anything about Fabio that's competing?
Nothing.
He's come a long way since he used to do those romance covers, right? Is that a different Fabio?
If it is, it's the gains of the year. So
some really good shots there. But I always say, what are they not showing? I don't see a lot of leg shots in his poses. There's a lot of ones that emphasize his tiny waist and whatnot. A lot of these front-on shots, and I always wonder what they're hiding a little bit. For me, while that looks great, upper chest looks not, it doesn't quite pop out, particularly sort of around here. It's not jacking out. It looks quite flattened. You better have some good tan to cover up the ink. It'd be
interesting anyway. So always good seeing guys that I haven't seen before.
Did he get invited? Did he win the amateur last year? Did he, or?
No idea. As I say, completely new to me. So, another one that's sort of coming into their own in recent time. Samson obviously came off a win last year. I don't know if he's put many progress pics up though.
Watch that video there, that one in the middle. It's really good.
It's on here?
Yeah. Some poor bugger having to stand on the stairs to film it, but you watch his waist, his vacuum. Look at that. Pow. Better shave those forearms. But great waist. His posing is really good. It's actually enjoyable. It's it's not just let's just stand here and hit it, but he really creates an art and tells a story.
His physique has come such a long way in the last 18 months.
So he was working with John Meadows, who obviously passed away. Who's he with now?
Milos, I think. Yeah. So Samson, one that a lot of people are talking about. Reagan Grimes, a lot of people got him outside the top 5. Hard to say. I mean, I saw this photo and I kind of thought
clearly made a lot of progress, but when he was at the O, he just looked undersized. So how much size has he put on, having done all those shows? Is he still going to look outsized by these guys?
It's interesting because you look at a shot like this.
That looks great.
Yeah, but from a size perspective, you would think that he would be getting, outsized, but then you look at him in another pose like this, and he actually, so I don't know whether he's just got some poses.
He's taking Dennis Wolf apart, but I mean,
if we rewound 10 years,
he's like 260 or something.
Yeah. He's a big guy structurally. He's a very.
He's about 6 foot, isn't he? 6 foot, 6'1".
When you're putting it on in the right place, 280 in the wrong place gets beaten by 250 in the better spot. So I think he's not going to be an issue for size. Sometimes condition is a thing, but Milos is still learning. But that double buy shot, I think, is just spectacularly aesthetic as hell, but still big.
And
I've got him coming forward.
I like his back shots. He's so bubbly and nuts.
Yeah.
So Reagan Grimes there. Someone that people I think have been sleeping on, Max Charles. Whether last year wasn't probably a great year for him competing.
Find that video of him doing his lat raises from behind. It's just nuts. Down there on the bottom right, there you go, in the white singlet. Makes me want to take up yoga.
Holy crap. I'm stunned. That is nuts. Don't go sleeping on Max Charles, people.
And he generally comes in peeled too.
Yeah. Last year, I think he decided to do one of his peak weeks on his own instead of with Milos, and Milos says go for it, and he tanked it, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So what I've noted about his conditions is crazy. His lower quads tend to be a little bit light, but his shoulders are, oh my God, but he's an amazing mid to lower level pro show bodybuilder. But I think in an Arnold, I think he's just not genetically blessed like the Reagan Grimeses of this world. And so, I've got him coming in 7th behind Samson.
And probably the man of the moment that everyone's talking about in terms of, just sheer progress. I mean, this guy's progress has just been phenomenal.
That picture in the middle there is his I guess his marketing ability and whatnot. Is it blown up by the fact that he looks like the president of Ukraine?
He does, isn't it? Got a bit of that look.
He facially looks like the president of Ukraine.
Yeah. But when that photo came out, I did probably what I did when I saw that Max Charles video. I just kind of went, holy crap.
There's a bit of water to come off though, isn't there?
Yeah, but when we're talking a guy that was it 2 or 3 years ago, came out of was he in Classic at that point?
Yeah. The rest of us go the other direction.
Yeah. And Matt Jansen is known for bringing guys in shape, so I don't think conditioning or water or anything is going to be a problem for Brett. So just nice watching a young guy on such a steep trajectory too.
Yeah, just a little bit. Again, and the legs aren't quite there because legs take a little bit longer. And if you're doing men's classic physique a couple of years ago, you're not going to suddenly bring up your quads in 18 months, and they're just not quite up to par with his upper body. But he's got a really good aesthetic about him. So
very bubbly too, eh? And
bubbly.
The guy with the coolest car of a lot of them, Steve Kuklow.
Whose car?
You haven't seen his car. That.
Oh. Is he fit in it?
I know. That's what I'm thinking, because I think the Corvettes are a bit bigger than most of your sports cars because he's a 6 foot sort of guy, and he's massive.
He's a tall fella, right?
To fit in. And from memory, I mean, Logan he bought a Corvette as well, and it wasn't too bad to fit him. Whereas, like with other sports cars, often you can't even get in, into the seat. So. Anyway, we're not worrying about that. Worried about physique. So all I know is that the rumor is Steve's going to be coming in about 10 pounds lighter than he did last year, because last year I think he, came in full blown and looked freaking amazing, but didn't get rewarded for it, I guess. He was
a little blurry in the belly last year, wasn't he? His condition is always on, and he's just a big unit, tall, wide. He's one of those guys.
Pounds is still 275 probably.
So he's a waif of a man by his own standard. I mean, those numbers. Remember when we used to talk about like Dorian coming in at 250 to 255, and these guys are just blasting that, you know.
A lot of people writing off William, putting him outside the top 5. I think that's a bit disrespectful. I think people were forgetting how good William can be.
Why are they doing that?
I don't know. Last year, I think people probably thought he'd gone backwards a bit, and maybe he was heading that way. But looking at some of his update photos, I've been thinking, I think you're in for a wake-up call, guys.
Yeah, you look at the company that's turning up, and sort of genetics-wise, he's pretty much, there's only 1 or 2 guys that are probably better than him genetically, but of those, one of those guys, he's got more muscle mass and completeness, and that would be Reagan Grimes. I think probably got better genetics, but hasn't filled it out yet. But yeah, I've got him in top 2 because he's won the show before, and he may not be as crisp, but he's got so many other things going on. I mean, just look at that shot.
Yeah,
he does have to get it. He does have to get it spot on, though. I mean, if he comes in a little bit off, then him being that much shorter and smaller than the others will count against them as well. So it's got to be 100% William Bonac sharp, because he's got structure. He's got great symmetry, good fullness, good roundness to all his muscles. But he has to be
from the back. He's got so much going on there. You're just drawn to it.
If he's off, Kuklow and Grimes could take him, but I can't see anyone else, Wilkin and whatnot, taking him. They're just not at that level yet.
And finally, but certainly not last in terms of any predictions, Brandon Curry and thoughts, people.
Well, I said he was going to win the last 2 Olympias and that Ramy couldn't win it. At least today I'm right. Ramy can't win this. Not in it. But I'm scared to say he's going to win it because I might be hexing him or something, but don't really think there's anyone else in it.
He looks like he's brought up his legs a little bit too. There's a couple other shots of him in the doorway there where his legs look, and that was always the knock, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're just taking a bit longer, and that's the same as I was saying about Brett Wilkin. It takes a little bit longer for some people's legs, and but that's nuts.
His adductors are just crazy, eh?
Yeah,
just pop through.
Yeah.
So without further ado, shall we have a crack at our top 5? And I'm going to throw first to Mike Tab. Who you got in your top 5, man?
I'll go Curry, Bonac, Wilkin, Kuklow, Grimes.
Nice. Right. Mr. Kingsnorth, from a pro's perspective, let's see if he can beat the bros. Who you got?
Brandon, Bonac, Kuklow, Grimes, and Wilkin. But Max could sneak up there. I've got him down to 7th, but he could jump up there if he brings that disgusting conditioning.
Right. I've already written mine down. I've got obviously Brandon coming in at first. I'm putting Brett Wilkins in second, taking a risk on it, but closely behind him and could beat him, William Bonac. I've got Steve Kuklow coming in 4, and I'm going to put Sampson ahead of Regan and put Sampson in 5th. So
could happen. He beat him in, was it Czechoslovakia or something?
Yeah, last
year. Really good bodybuilder is going to be outside the top 5. I mean, there's a real, the top 7 or 8 are really good.
I think the top 9 are all pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a even though it's a small lineup, it's incredibly tight. So
it's deep.
Can't wait. Right, let's talk something about stuff I know very little about, and we'll go to the. Just going to pull up the. Where are we? Internet's going a little bit slow, but I want to pull up the classic physique. So I can grab that there. Could have clicked on it straight away. Right, that was a bit ask about face, but 2022 competitors for that: Breon, Michael, Urs, Peter Molnar, Terence, Raymond, Darwin, Lenny, and Divine Wilson. And do you want to go and have a look through any of these in particular, or do you just want to have a crack at give us your top 5?
The
gentlemen.
from the Olympia,
Yep.
it was Ruffin, Ainsley, Kelsinski was fifth, wasn't he?
I think so.
Was he
I think
fourth,
so.
and was Roca ahead of him? So, I mean, what has anybody got anything different than what showed up at the Olympia, or what placings we had at the Olympia?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And
But
I
you
know
see
the least
moving up.
about it.
I've got what's his name? Urs coming. He's in top 4, probably third. Ramon, I've got in fifth. He's making a lot. There's a lot of noise about it, but he seems to be creating it himself. And I mean, obviously, we can only go off what he's allowed us to see. But you know, the video he recently released, I think it was 2 weeks out, he wasn't in the shape you need to be at 2 weeks out, unless something drastic happens. There's a few guys that are in much better condition than him. So
Well, you know, Kelsinski's doing the old Dorian Yates shadow thing where he's sort of staying covered up. So a couple of pictures of just his face, the old death face. He's obviously in shape. But when you look back at the Olympia, his physique just looked immature. Looked like he just needed more time to kind of get that grainy, harder, kind of more separated look. Great structure.
He's got a great front double bis, great front relax. So straight away, the opening poses in front of the judges are quite impressive. I mean, there's still that photo of him next to, obviously not the same size, but next to Seabaum, and he certainly looked in the right company. He's got these great calves, which I think are underestimated in this category. There's so many guys who just turn up with shit calves, and someone like him turns up with amazing ones. You know, it's side on. His upper body is not very good side on. It's not round enough. But front on, he's doing well. So, and you can only assume he's improved.
So, Mike, you're to fill us in your. I've got your third and your fifth. Do you want to give us your?
Terrence winning it.
Yep.
Breon second. One thing I put, because those notes were crazy, is I've actually got Molnar coming either last or second to last. I was shocked that Peter Molnar, who's had this amazing height coming into it, but it's usually on that one side tricep post that they always do. But man, his legs were just dire. I was really surprised. I mean, unless he surprised me, his back wasn't good. I think the only one coming dead last is probably Lenny Witt, who's a natural athlete, and just it isn't a level playing field for him. So, you know, comes in good, but not good enough. Divine Wilson's an interesting one. He's won 4 shows, great back, great delts, great muscle bellies, but he's just got these long limbs, so it kind of looks like they're not quite filling it all out. It looks great on Instagram, but I just feel like he looks a little bit light on stage. So yeah.
So who you got? Who's your fourth pick? I've got your
fourth. I'm gonna go. Probably. I'm probably gonna go with Dubull. I think. I think he's, if I remember, he's good condition, poses really well, good shape. You know, just I know his posing in the shape is funny. I read my notes. I can't read my own writing. Or Darwin, you know, but Ramon's, I've got him in fifth. Just not sharp enough. His genetics will get him there. Yeah.
Mr. Tab, top 5, buddy.
I probably should study this a little bit more, since this is now my class of choice for my own competing, but yeah, I tend to still follow the open bodybuilders more. I won't argue with Mike there. I'll go with Terrence, and then Breon, and then Urs. Beyond that, I don't know enough about the guys to kind of pick them apart. I mean, if I had to choose, I'd probably take Roca just because he placed highly at the Olympia, but yeah, beyond that, I don't know.
There's guys doing well, guys getting in the show who...
You need one more name, Mike.
You know?
I'll hold you to one more name, Mike, just for the competition.
Pick Lenny.
Yeah, Mike convinced me on Michael, but I'll have to choose someone else just to split it up. Let's go with Darwin.
Yeah, right. Okay, look, I've already got mine, and yeah, I agree on the Terrence and then Breon 1 and 2. I'm going to go with Urs in third, just because he hasn't shown us a lot recently, and if he can make some pretty good improvements based on the fact that he's so young, yeah, I think he could be a surprise in terms of what he's looking like. I've got Ramon in fourth, and I'm gonna go for Peter Molnar, put him in fifth. Always liked his physique. Again, last year, I agree with you, Mike. I was quite I don't know, just underwhelmed by, from what I had seen of him when he was competing earlier on in his career. But I'm going to throw him in there.
Look at the legs on his Insta and you'll change your mind.
It's locked in.
And you said you were putting $1,000 on it, didn't you?
Yeah, mate.
Nipple piercing.
No.
You already got one,
Right.
didn't you?
No, it's cheeseburger tits. To quote Fue. Right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for us tonight. It's been good. We would have had to get this out of the way. I appreciate Mike Kingsnorth, as always, coming well prepared with the background on all the competitors. Mike and I winging it and fumbling our way.
You guys have real jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We're hopefully back. We've got an interview coming up next week with one of the federations, so it'll be interesting. And until then, stay safe, get some good training in, and we will be with you again next week. Stop recording.